DJ Smith, my age is 28 and my major is anthropology. Before I was studying at the library, I left the library and I was walking to my car, which was parked on the 4th floor of the Flint garage. And instead of taking the elevator that day, I decided to take the stairs. So I was walking up the stairs, and in between the 2nd and 3rd floor of the stairs, as I hit the platform, a gentleman was coming down the stairs, and the second he saw me, he screamed "faggot" and punched me straight in the face, and I was knocked out. When I came to and realized what had happened, I grabbed my glasses because they were broken on the ground, and I immediately went to the De Anza police station and reported it and told them what had happened and all I could remember at that time. Frustration, simply because you don't really expect for something like that to happen in general, especially on a school campus where it's supposed to be one of the safest spaces for somebody. So frustration is the first thing that comes to mind. But now it's not about just a frustration, it's about safety, but not just for me, other students as well. I don't think the school can make up for what they've done, honestly, because the school has not given any help. They've given me no resources that are useful to me, and personally, they don't really address the situation head on. They always steer it towards a different situation by bringing in white supremacy or making it political. The school doesn't actually address the situation head on. So at this point, unless they can apologize for their past actions and then prove that they're trying to make the campus a safer place, I don't think they can do anything to fix this. The damage has already been done, and with no help being offered, I don't foresee them changing their mind anytime soon.
I'm Brian Murphy. I'm the president of the college. The police, when notified, immediately began their own investigation. That's what happened this time. They make a determination as to whether or not the crime merits identification as a hate crime. They then prepare their report. That report is their own because it's investigative, but they do then obviously tell us what their determination is.
They gave me no on and off campus resources that I could use. The one on-campus resource that I requested to use was psychological services, and they told me no. One person said it's because they didn't have enough money. One person said it's because they didn't have enough space. And then President Murphy said it's because of Title V and the CCRs stipulated that you can't go over a specific amount of time in a session. So the resources that they offered me were geared towards people under the age of 26. I'm not a youth, I'm 28. And a lot of the stuff were geared towards people who had like HIV or AIDS, which had nothing to do with me. So I couldn't actually use any of the resources that they gave me.
It's not clear exactly what the criticism is. I believe in fact I know, the institution provided all possible resources that we could provide, and a very wide range of them, to him. And I'm pretty sure about that range. That said, it is also true that we saw this particular hate crime in a much broader context, which we believe also to be true. Namely, that there is a generalized atmosphere that is not singularly only about this crime or about its motivations. And so in that sense, yes, we did say of the crime itself that it was we feared and we felt sorry that it was in the midst of a broader social context.
I went through multiple people to try and get a copy of the Title V CCRs. And once I was able to obtain a digital copy online, I went through and not once did I see anywhere that stipulated the school had to, by law, make it a 12-session limit. And I also looked to see if that's what every community college goes by, and every community college goes by the same CCRs in the state of California. So my question is, why does Foothill have a 12 limit? Why does De Anza have a 12 limit? Why does San Jose City have no limit? Why does Delta College and Stockton have no limit? Every college has a different limit. And it's not because of Title V CCRs. They don't give you a limit. And if they have, I could not find it in the hours of me looking at the papers.
What Title V specifies that psychological services are to be offered for a limited time only. It says short term. There's then another paragraph that very specifically identifies the funding contradiction, which is these things are intended for short term and for the many. That's what's written in Title V. If you were to check with other schools around, we have a limit of 12. Foothill has a limit of, I think, 6 or 8. Most schools have nowhere near the 12. And so that decision was made in light of Title V.
It's kind of hard to say we have like a presence as an LGBTQ community because there is really no organization or group that we have that we can go to. The Gene Miller Resource Room is 1/8 the size of President Murphy's office. And this is supposed to be a resource room that's used by all of campus. You know, there's not a big presence for us there. And I feel like they need to spend more time and maybe a little more money in funding something for LGBTQ members, because as of right now, we really don't have much, if anything. You know, a safer space, a larger, safer space would be nice. We're confined to a tiny office. You know, there's classrooms that are 4 or 5 times bigger than this office. So it's a little disheartening to see the school not really care. First, I want to say thank you to the students who did on my behalf go to the board meeting. I have no idea who they are. I had no idea that they had done that. But I also think that it's important that they continue to raise awareness, because if we don't continue to use our voice and continue to raise awareness, nobody's going to listen. Like, we have to be constant and constantly remind other people that, you know, this community is just as important, and you know, we might be smaller than most communities, but that doesn't mean we can just be ignored. And the only way people are going to realize that is if we continue to voice our opinions.
Finally, you're asking a really deep question about the degree to which a person walking on this campus feels comfortable in their skin with who they are, right? And well before I was here, this campus made a deep commitment that it would honor the diversity of its students and its faculty and staff. I mean, it's a really long tradition. And at the same time, you have to keep renewing it. You have to keep talking about it. A few years ago, we began a conversation, for instance, about the use of pronouns. And faculty and staff, you know, it was new for them to be talking about the use of pronouns. And that's much more common now, and gives comfort to students who would prefer a pronoun other than what they might otherwise be just nominally assigned. And that was an example, I thought, of a campus trying to be responsive, trying to learn. That's what we're supposed to be about, right? Is about learning. Well, that works both ways. It's not just students learning. It's all of us learning from each other. Thank you.